Hi everyone and welcome to AdvancePro University. My name is Ben Hart. I'm a product expert here at AdvancePro. Today we're going to be focusing on reorder levels. Specifically, we will be looking at uh, what is a reorder alert level, what are the target levels, where in AdvancePro can we find our reorder alerts and what we're low on, how to create reorder points manually in the software, how to import them from an Excel spreadsheet, and one method for determining your reorder levels. So a reorder alert level is the amount below which AdvancePro is going to recommend that you order more product, and this refers to available stock. So if a product is sold but not yet shipped, or it's committed to a manufacturing work order that's not finished, it won't count as available stock. And the target level is the amount that AdvancePro will recommend that you order enough product to reach when you're reordering. So the amount then that AdvancePro will recommend when you order is equal to target level minus current stock. And if the product is purchased using a unit breakdown, then it will divide out accordingly to give you the right number of cases. I should also mention that you can set different reorder points for each product in each warehouse. Now, in AdvancePro, there are two ways to find out what you're low on by default. So the first one is found under Products, Reorder Alert Report right here. We're going to go ahead and open that up. We can specify by warehouse, or we can filter it down by product, SKU, vendor, or the vendor SKU. And when I run this report, this is actually going to tell me everything I'm low on. It's going to tell me what I should be ordering. So here we are. So we've got the primary vendor for each product. We've got the SKUs to look at. And we see our stock level, compares it to the reorder level. We get the target. And then it comes up with a kind of draft to reorder level. Now then it looks at what's already on its way in and out of the warehouse to make sure we're not double filling these orders. And then we can get a suggested reorder level. This is what we should actually bring in. So there we can go ahead and make our vendor orders. Now the other way is when we actually just go and start a vendor order. So if I close out of our report and I go to vendors new order and I choose my vendor and I proceed, you will see we can start to put items onto our order. At this point we can search by clicking our magnifying glass, and I'm just going to do a blank search. So it's going to tell me everything this vendor sells me. I can filter that by what's below the reorder level. So this is vendor specific. This is what we're low on that this vendor sells. So here we can check off each of these items and we can add them to our order easily. And here we can round our quantities off if we need to. So this is another way that we can quickly get what we're low on. Now note that we've got this filter to see what's below the reorder level. This is only available if you are not using the show combined variance setting. So I want to touch on that real quick. To adjust that setting, you're going to come to admin, site settings, and general settings, and you'll see that show combined variance. So if you're working with variance, and particularly with order matrix, you may need to come and disable that to get recommended stock levels for any of your products. Okay, so that kind of addresses how to find out what you're low on. Now, to create those reorder levels within the software, just go to View All Products and take a look at a specific product. Any product set up in the system should be able to have reorder points attached to it, anything that's you're stocking inventory on. So if I go ahead and click Edit, we can come into the Additional Info tab. That's the third tab on the bottom. And we can go ahead and click Update next to Reorder Alert Level. This brings up a little screen where we can go ahead and put in our alert level and our target for each warehouse. So if you have multiple warehouses, they will be listed here. In this case, our alert level is 20, and when we fall below that point, AdvancePro is going to recommend that we order enough to get up to our target, which is 40. Now, that's good for entering one by one, but if you want to do a large-scale product update in terms of your alert levels and your targets, we are going to talk about how you can bring those in from an Excel file. Now, you can get a clean sheet ready to change and re-import just using our export feature. So we covered this in detail in some of our previous videos. You're going to come to Admin, Utilities, Excel import export, and you can see here you've got some options to do an import and an export. We're going to run an export, and you will need to build a schema, which is an export preset. So I've made one called export, which just happens to be the product name, the SKU, the reorder alert level, and the target. Go ahead and save that, and then you can run an export against that preset. So here we can choose the preset that we want to use. We can set where we would like to save the file. And when you hit export, AdvancePro will go ahead and generate that for you. I've run one ahead of time. So here is our Excel export file. So here we can go ahead and put in formulas on our reorder alert levels if we like. We can go ahead and set those up. And if we need to, we can bring in some extra data to compare to. We might, for example, want to get your sales velocity in here, your amount of sales per day or per month, so that you can run a formula against that to determine your reorder alert levels and your target stock levels. So let's talk a little bit about how you might choose to make those settings. To bring that file back in, by the way, you'll just come to import under that same screen here in Excel import export. So you can then go ahead and import those back in. Feel free to take a look at our advanced Excel tips for AdvancePro users video. We did that a few weeks ago, and that may give you some hints on how to set that up. We want to talk a little bit broader here about how to get that information out of AdvancePro and what kind of a formula you might want to look at when setting your alert levels and your target stock. So what you're really looking at is, in this example, for a 3-month order cycle, so we only want to order from our vendor approximately once every 3 months. For the alert level, you're going to be looking at your sales per day times your lead time in days. Or if you're looking at, say your lead time is 1 month, then you might be looking at your sales per month. And we recommend adding a small buffer to that, say 5 or 10%, to account for growth. Now, when you're looking at your target level, in this case, because we want a 3-month order cycle, you're going to look at your sales over 3 months and then add a buffer. And so this means that you'll order enough stock to get you up to a point where you should last for 3 months, and then you can go ahead and order when you're down to just a little bit over what it's going to take you for your lead time. So you'll make your order as soon as you pass that point. You'll bring in 3 more months worth of stock. This is one way that you can set these things up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and back out into AdvancePro. I want to show you where you can get that kind of sales per day information or sales per month. So what we can do is we can come over into reports. We can open up, we're in general reports, by the way. We can open up our advanced net movement report. And here we can take a look at a time period. We're just looking at the last month of activity in this company. You could look at the last quarter, or you could look at the same time period as you're looking at, but last year, so you can compare numbers year over year, especially if you have seasonal product. So I'm going to go ahead and run this report, and this is going to tell me what came in and what went out over the period I've specified. So here we can look at each SKU, and we can see what was received over the last month and what was shipped. Now, if we're clever, what we can do is we can actually go ahead and save this and export this as Excel. And what I recommend is Excel data only. And go ahead and push that out. And then you can just easily cut and paste, because both of them are sorted by SKU or by product name, and cut and paste that information in next to your reorder alert level and your target. Put in your formulas, and you'll very quickly come up with what your new target level should be. You can then import those back into AdvancePro. So this is a real quick idea of some ways that you can manage your alert levels and your targets within AdvancePro and Excel very, very easily. I hope this helps each and every one of you. Thank you all for watching this. This does conclude today's session of APT University.